Hey, imagine you're scrolling through 100 guitars because you know you need something that feels right for your next gig, but you keep worrying you'll end up with a piece that sounds great on paper and terrible in the booth. I've been there, staring at a wall of glossy shots, trying to picture how a Telecaster will fit into my own rig, and wondering if it's worth parting with that kind of cash. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon, so you can see the exact model, price, and all the nitty-gritty before you commit. Let's walk through the Fender American Vintage 2 1977 Telecaster Custom and see if it actually lives up to the hype or if it's just another pretty-looking vintage vibe guitar that might not solve the real problems you have. First off, this Telecaster is marketed as a nod to 1977, with that classic black finish and a blend of humbucker and single-coil pickups. The idea is to give you a little bit of everything, the warmth you'd expect from a humbucker and the twang you love from a single coil. On paper, that sounds perfect for anyone who wants to cover everything from country twang to rock crunch. But the real question is, does that combination actually shine in everyday playing? And does it justify the price tag compared with other modern Telecasters? If you're a gigging player who needs a versatile workhorse, this guitar might be a solid match. The single coil on the bridge offers that classic Tele sparkle, which cuts through a mix nicely on stage. I've seen friends use it for clean country licks, and the note definition is impressive even when you crank the amp. The humbucker in the neck position adds a fatter tone that's useful for solos that need a bit more sustain, which is great when you shift from country rhythm to a rock or blues lead in the same set. The balance between the two pickups feels natural. You won't have to wrestle with tone knobs to get a decent sound out of either one. On the flip side, if you're looking for a guitar that specializes in one particular style, the Best of Both Worlds approach can be a mild compromise. The humbucker isn't a high-output monster, it's more of a modest, vintage-inspired unit. That means it won't bite into heavy metal riffs as aggressively as a modern high-gain humbucker would. So a metalhead who expects screaming leads might find the neck humbucker a little thin. For those players, a dedicated high-output set might be a better fit, and you could end up paying extra for a feature you won't really use. Now let's talk about the body and neck, because those are the parts that affect how the instrument feels in your hands day after day. The guitar uses an Alder body, a traditional Fender material that usually gives a balanced resonance, neither too boomy nor too thin. In practice, this means you'll get a consistent response whether you're playing clean chords or overdriven leads. The maple neck and fingerboard have that classic Fender smooth but not slippery feel. The neck profile is a comfortable mid-C shape, which sits nicely under the palm for most hand sizes. If you've ever struggled with a neck that's too thick or too slim, this one strikes a middle ground that many players find just right. That said, the maple fingerboard can feel a bit bright in the high frequencies. Paired with the single-coil bridge pickup, you'll notice a slight edge in the top end. If you prefer a darker tonal character, you may have to dial back the treble on your amp or add a warmer pedal in the signal chain. One practical strength that often gets overlooked is the tuning stability. The bridge on this model is a classic 6-saddle design, which some players worry could be less stable than a modern 2-point tremolo system. In my experience, the vintage-style bridge holds tuning well, provided you install decent quality strings and maintain proper intonation. It's not a system where you'll be constantly retuning after each chorus, which is a relief when you're on the road and don't have the luxury of a full tech crew. However, if you're a heavy whammy bar user, this bridge won't accommodate that style, so it's not for you if you rely on dive bombs or extreme pitch tricks. Another point that often trips up buyers is the weight. At first glance, the Telecaster looks sleek, but once you lift it, you'll feel the solid Alder body adds a noticeable heft. For most players, that weight translates into a solid, stable feel that keeps the guitar from wobbling on stage. If you're a marathon player who spends hours standing, that extra mass can become tiring, especially if you have a lower body weight. It's worth trying it out in the store or borrowing one before committing, just to make sure the balance works for you over long periods. Let's address the price-to-value equation. This is an American-made instrument, which already commands a premium over many overseas-made copies. The vintage styling, the dual pickup configuration, and the solid construction all